Welcome to Spectre Performance at the 2010 SEMA show in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is our booth right over here, and it's a long booth. Let me take you for a tour. Come on in. First thing in our booth is Kenny Hoover. Kenny and I co-drive the Speedliner, which we'll get to in a second. And he's signing posters. He's almost at 2,000 posters, and we're not even halfway through the show. So at this point, the only thing that really hurts bad is Kenny's right hand, and that's from signing posters. So don't get any ideas. This is our El Camino, and we run it at the hill climb. We run it at autocrosses. It's a mid-engined LS7 powered 1970 El Camino. It's a pretty cool car. We like it. And like most of our cars, it runs straight pipe, open exhaust, and whenever we turn it on, it barks, and people, women scream and children cry, and makes us happy. Up on top there is the F40 that currently holds the record to the Virginia City hill climb that's now known as the Spectre 341 Challenge. We ran it last year, and nobody's come close to the record yet, but that doesn't mean that this year won't be the one. This year, 2011, June 17th, 18th, and 19th, it'll be a 3-day event. And it's going to be exciting. We're going to have a lot more cars. We're going to have pro drivers. We're going to have really fast times, and maybe somebody will break the record. And if they do, I'll have that car there and see if I can take it back. Over here, we've got new products that we're introducing and testing the market on, our black filters. These are Hyper Blacks, and they're the ones that we ran on the Speedliner. They are currently the world's fastest air filters, 415 miles an hour on gasoline, and they work great. We made 17 passes on these filters, 3 of those passes over 400, just about every other pass well deep into the 300s. If we come around over here, this is our Speedliner. This is the guts and the glory. The other side will be the body. You'll see that in a second. Starting from tip to tail, it's full, it's loaded, it's 38.5 feet long, and it's packed. And the reason it's that long, there's 2 reasons actually. One is that's how much space it takes up to hold everything, including our filters. And that's just what it takes to go that fast. It just takes that much space. The second reason it's that long is because it was built at Performance Fabrication by Steve Schmaltz there in San Carlos, California. Steve and crew built the car, and basically the tail end of the car came up to the wall. It's a concrete wall at the end of his shop, and that's why it stops where it does. Otherwise, who knows? It might have been 40 feet long. Anyway, it is the world's fastest gasoline-powered car on the face of the earth, 415 miles an hour. 415 on gasoline. The next nearest guy on gasoline is 368. So it's pretty good, and we want to become the fastest car ever, but we have a long way to go for that one. Over here we have the standard hyper filters, and we're showing them. And then we come over here to our rig, and there's the back wall, which has all sorts of tubes and pipes and bends and boots and things like that. Pretty much anything you need to make a cold air intake system yourself, customized. Here's the rest of the Speedliner here. That's about half our booth is this car. And then we come back over here. This is what powers the Speedliner. It's a Cadillac engine. They come in 2 configurations, 472 cubic inch and 500 cubic inch. They're built by Courtney Hines at the CAD company in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they're for sale. You can put the fastest gasoline engine on the face of the earth in your car or truck. Call Courtney and he'll set you up. You could, whatever options you want on it, you can have. Over there behind Tom, Tim, and Julie, we have air boxes, cowl boxes, all sorts of ways to get cold air from under the hood of the car. And then behind there, we've got our muscle car cold air intakes. We have DTMs, we have sidewinders, we have custom kits. We've got all sorts of different ways to get cold air into your muscle car or muscle truck. And there's hundreds of varieties. It's just a matter of which one you like. This is modern muscle over here, and we've got them for cars and for trucks, all the way up to 2011 Camaros, 2011 Challengers, things like that. Then we come back out, and we look over here. Our new 7-way LS manifold is over here, and it's configurable 7 different ways. It's got adjustable hidden fuel rails. It's a really cool trick, piece, and it's already won a, look at this, little Global Media Award winner. So that's kind of cool. We got a little prize. That's a unique piece. Another unique piece is our MAF conversion kit. You go from this style MAF over here, which is the old clumsy MAF that doesn't flow very well, to that MAF over there, which is an LS7 style blade MAF. They're a lot more robust. They flow 25% better, and you save a lot of space so you can locate them. And more spaces. This is our little up and over manifold for street rods. Anybody who puts an LS engine in a car and just doesn't have room in front of it to get an air intake. But wait, there's more. We have our battery box that we introduced. And why are we doing battery boxes? Because we couldn't find a battery box that was really good on the market. We relocate our batteries on every car that we have. We put them in the back. But we use our cars. We drive them everywhere. So we want to be able to use the trunk as well. So the battery needs to go in the corner. The problem with most battery boxes is the battery goes in from the top. Well, if you put it in the corner of the car, you can't put the battery in from the top because the fender comes right over here. So we've created this side load box where the battery goes in like this, and then the box closes up like this. Now it's fully contained. There's our box. There's two little fasteners on this side and two on this side. And then if you go to the back of the box, you can configure the cables to come out of any one of the four corners here. It's a really trick little box. And it was designed by Rick Dauberton. Old timers will know who Rick Dauberton is. Young timers won't care. They'll just care that the box works really well for their battery. This is our Jeep toolbox that goes in the engine compartment of a Jeep, and it holds a whole bunch more stuff than you can put in a Jeep engine compartment by just bungee cording it to stuff that's in the engine compartment. It also keeps it nice and dry when you go mudding. This is a pretty cool line that we're just introducing at the show. It's our wings, our spoilers, our door panels, and our radiator block-off kits. The spoiler is a spoiler. It goes on the front chin of a car, and you'll see it on all of our cars. The wing goes on the back, and it mounts on the trunk, and it looks so good. It even makes me look good just holding it. I feel better already. I'm a better-looking guy just for this. That's our door panel there. They come in pairs, and then you can buy the armrest for it as well. And the armrest, comes like this with a little upholstered black vinyl, but the vinyl comes off. This is two screws that hold it underneath. You can take that off and match it to your upholstery if you're into the matchy-match scene. This is a radiator support and cover, and it keeps all the air coming into the front of the car and makes sure it goes through the radiator and not up and over. So it actually keeps the car running cooler. The door panels have won 2 prizes here so far at the SEMA show, which I guess surprised us. I don't know. We won one of these little cute global things, little cube here, and then we got a runner-up, which I think is really good because it's better than first place. First place, everyone knows, is the kiss of death. Product just fails miserably after that, so I'd much rather have runner-up and sales success. Hey, the bicycle, probably our, if not our first, then for sure our second most popular vehicle at the SEMA show. My brother made this bike for me. It's for my 50th birthday, and he had it custom made. He designed it, drew it out, and pretty much had everything made except for, I think, the crank piece on it. The wheels are special, custom wheels are widened. The forks are widened, the frame in the back is widened. Anyway, cool bike, and everybody that's been seeing me ride it around here at the show up and down has just commented on what a cool bike that is. What does it have to do with our products? Nothing. It's just a really cool bike. I like it. This is our double dually. So I'll let you in on a secret. Next year it won't look like this. That engine that's in it right now, we're just not happy with it. It puts out about 500-600 horsepower, and we think it's too weak. So we're going to put one of the CAD companies, big block Cadillac engines with twin turbos in it, and we'll detune it for street use, so it'll only have about 1,400 horsepower. But that'll be our push vehicle for next year. If we can get another 20-30 miles an hour at the start, we'll have another 10 or 15 miles an hour at the back end. For land speed racers, that's huge. If we put a Cadillac engine in it, then we'll probably take off the front clip and put on an Escalade front clip and just be gay like everybody else and paint it black. But that's just the things you have to do for marketing. So anyway, what else do we have? Well, that's double dually. That's going to take a while. We come back over here. The show is the debut of our yellow Camaro that's been painted black. Why do we paint it black? Because I hated the yellow on the yellow Camaro. Anyway, we had the yellow Camaro for many years. It's one of those cars we bought on eBay, and we bought it from a cop in Chicago. And we thought, hey, a cop isn't going to lie to us, but apparently a cop in Chicago would lie on eBay, so it wasn't quite as represented nicely on what we bought. But we bought it cheap, and we just abused the snot out of it, and now we've treated it to a nice paint job, a nice bodywork, a nice interior. We dropped a really built-up LS1 with a 6-speed into it. It's got our new custom LS intake for LS engines into older muscle cars, and we're making these for first and second gen Camaros, Chevelles, Novas, Chevy 2s. So if you're dropping an LS engine into your older muscle car, you can now buy an LS intake for it, cold air intake. Anyway, it's a cool car. It's got a full carbon nose, hood, and tail, and that's from Anvil. And anyway, it's just a badass car. What you're seeing it right now is in the high position. High position meaning this is how we race it. It's got a lot of suspension compliance, so for real bumpy racetracks. But for street use, we would drop it an inch all the way around, and that's how we'd cruise. And then over here is our GTO, which we've just been hammering on for the last couple of years, and it's just like a big dog. It just comes back, wags the tail, sticks out the tongue, and asks for more. It's been on several power tours. It's just a neat car. Both the Camaro and the GTO have open exhaust, so just straight pipe out the back. And the LS engines, I gotta tell you, LS engines with an air intake sound really good when they have a big cam in them and no mufflers. Anyway, probably one of our most favorite cars to drive because it's got a radio and it's got air conditioning. It's got our wings and everything else. Bear Brakes fixed us up with a trick brake kit. I don't think there's any other GTO on the planet with a rear brake kit from Bear, but I guess if you have a GTO and now you want a brake kit like that one, they'll probably make you one up because they know how to do it. So this is the back end of the car. It's probably the most important aerodynamic feature of the car is the back end. Most people don't think of the back of the car as being so important, but if you think of a fish going through the ocean, you look at the fish's body, and really most of the engineering on a fish is done on midsection to the back, not the front. The front's really where the mouth is, and it has to eat and look and stuff like that, but it's the back that makes it move. And even though it seems counterintuitive, the back of the car is the most critical part of the car when you're moving through the air. Also, when you come up to the midsection, you'll see one of the unique features of our cars, the air scoops, which are mounted on the bottom, low and on the bottom. The good news there is that that's where there's good pressure for the air to come in to feed the turbos. The bad news is that there's a lot of salt that's thrown up by the front tires, and it gets sucked into there as well. So on some of the runs, we end up with 100 pounds of salt in the airbox. But we don't care because we're running our hyper black filters, and after 17 runs, they haven't missed a beat. They filter super well, super efficient, and they flow like crazy. They're doing everything we're asking them to do, so we're really happy with them. All the other teams run scoops on top. You'll never see another streamliner without a scoop on top. Of course, that's in the airstream. It gets good, clean air, but it's not good for aerodynamics. So we got the best of both worlds. This is like having a cake and eating it too. And then as we come back here towards the nose, you know, this is what everybody sees of the car, and this is where we'll finish up the segment. If you come around here, it's hard to see the car. It's amazing here. The show hasn't even opened yet, and there's still people in line. But at some point, you'll have to see where the damage was done. I hit one of those orange cones. These things are hard to steer, basically. If you look at the car, it's not very wide, so it doesn't really want to go straight. Think of a dart. A dart is heavy in the front, it's got little feathers in the back. This thing's got most of the weight in the back. It's got no weight in the front, so it's like a dart that's weighted in the back. It doesn't really want to go straight. It wants to go every which way but straight. So on one of the runs, I hit a cone. I didn't feel it, and I didn't hear it. I did see it, but I didn't feel it or hear it, but it caved in the whole nose piece. But we straightened it out and welded it, and it's back. But that's the car, and that's what most of the people are coming here to see, but that's good. This is our test bed. This is how we do R&D. So most guys wear a lab coat. I wear a suit and a helmet. Thank you for coming to the SEMA show virtually through our little tour. And if you get a chance, call us, look us up on the web, send us questions, do whatever, and we'll try to answer them. And hopefully next year, come to the SEMA show.